Gather round, baby bats. Gather round, little darklings. It's getting late, and there are presents to open. New York City. Nothing quite like it. The overwhelming smell of piss, the incredible price gouging, the occasional dead body. Sweet Jesus, I need to get the fuck out of the city. And as fortune would have it, I was getting the fuck out of the city. One plane ticket to a somewhat well-known place called Illinois is exactly what the doctor ordered, baby. Where I'd be staying in a little town I read about in Business Insider. An escape from this trash heap of a city is all I could have asked for this holiday season, even if it was only for a couple of days. Through a few connections, I managed to snag a cozy little cabin near Lake Michigan on the cheap, which is still better than staying here in this suffocating steel mausoleum. After landing, getting a rental car, and a bit of driving, I made it to my destination at last, far, far away from home. After soaking in the rustic aesthetic and putting away my luggage, I knew the time had come. Now there was nothing left to do other than to settle down, have a nice, relaxing shopping session. So, back in the car I went, and 20 miles down the main road, I found myself surrounded by shops adorned with Christmas lights and coated with fluffy snow. It was so wonderful to experience the small-town energy firsthand. I felt like I was in a Disney movie or something. After giving my credit card a bit of exercise and burying the back seat of my rental, I figured I'd wrap up this shopping spree. Figuratively, of course. I bought all this stuff for me, so it would be kind of silly to... You know what, never mind, it's not that important. And so, our protagonist drove the 20 miles back to their rented cabin near the lake. But upon arriving back at the cabin and entering through the door, they dropped their shopping bags when they locked eyes with a Wendigo in their kitchen. Oh, you're back! Well, pardon my intrusion, but I couldn't help but notice that you had quite the pantry in here. Unfortunately for me, it was all show and no substance. But still, incredible craftsmanship. I'm not gonna lie, I'm pretty taken aback by how well-mannered you are for a Wendigo. Ha ha ha! Wendigo? Oh, no, I'm just a person, like you. No, I'm pretty certain I'm looking at a Wendigo. I don't know if you just forgot to put on your little human costume or whatever it is that you do, but even the narrator that was just here called you out on being a Wendigo, so... Well, I'll be damned! You're right. Shit. Also, what was up with that? This story didn't even open with narration. Yeah, I think that's part of the gag. I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to switch back to my monologue now. Despite being shocked that I was in the presence of this Wendigo, my curiosity must have had a helium enema because it was certainly rising. So, I'm kind of surprised at myself for sticking around this long and asking you this, but... Why is it that you're here exactly? I ask the Wendigo. Well, you may not know this, but I can sense when a person is devoid of holiday cheer. So I try to remind them what the holidays are all about. Ha ha! The Wendigo said, brimming with joy. Oh, and what's that? Togetherness? Peace and love to all on earth? That kind of thing? Ha ha ha! What? No. In case you've forgotten, I'm a Wendigo. That's what it's all about. Every neuron is alive with disgust. I gag a little. That's revolting, I cry. Isn't that a PlayStation 5 in that bag over there? Yeah? What's your point? Well, don't corporations like Sony use child labor to mine for cobalt, a mineral used in making electronics? And even if they're indirectly using child labor, are they not still enforcing the system that upholds the use of child labor? What I'm getting at is that you already support the consumption of humans, only you do it in a more abstract and removed way, so you don't really have to think about it. Wow, that sounds incredibly heavy-handed and a little on the nose. Yeah, but I think this episode is also a commentary on Christmas specials. Both how they handle tone in a storytelling sense, and also how they act as unwilling agents on the behalf of the consumerist agitprop campaign. Does that really work? It's in the script, so I guess so! But we really need to lay off the fourth wall gags. The damn thing is nearly torn down! Ha ha ha! Well, we've gone too far with it already, so now there's only one way out of this. Hello, audience. How are you? Are the holidays treating you well? I sure hope so. You know, back when I was a young eldritch abomination, before I became the disembodied voice that lives in your speakers, I received a plastic jar filled with goo and little aliens one Christmas. Now, I was instructed to not open the jar because my careless child hands would most likely get the goo on the carpet. But I really wanted to play with the goo, especially with the aliens in the goo. So I disobeyed my caretakers, and lo, I did get goo on the carpet. I could no longer be trusted with the jar, so the jar was tossed into the trash bin, aliens and all. It was that Christmas that I learned that aliens belong in the trash, especially the ones covered in goo. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Let's reel this back here a bit. Do you want to eat people or not? Yeah, sure. I guess. So do tell, how do you do this whole cannibal thing? I mean, is there like
have you ever been to a luau? Because personally, I really prefer
enlighten
that
me here,
method.
please.
It's very similar to eating
brimming
pork.
with
You would be
curiosity.
very surprised at yourself.
Sleep tight, kiddos. Happy holidays.